Hey, what's up? What it do, y'all? Welcome to another episode here on the replay. Hey, man, we got this hot sports talk coverage coming back today. What a weekend, what a weekend. And first, we're going to start off with, the America's team, them Dallas Cowboys, with that victory over the New York Jets. So I'm going to come over to my man right here to my very left. Not on the end this time. I'm coming right here to Mr. Tim Jackson. And I got my boy D.A. Daryl Alexander to my right, and then Jeff Booker, the baddest barber around. But I'm going to come right here to my boy T.J. What's happening, baby? What's happening on another episode? Another episode of the replay. And I know we talked about it earlier, man, about the Dallas Cowboys and them Jets. There seemed to be somebody talking about them Cowboys because, they said they wasn't being threatened because the Jets couldn't muster up any offense. But we're going to get back to that in just a second. But give me your take on it, man. What you think about the Cowboys in that game on Sunday?
Well, first of all, what day is it? What day is it? Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Okay, that's what day it is. And that's the reason why the Jets couldn't do anything on offense. See, everybody talks about a team when they don't do well, but that defense makes sure you don't do well. And matter of fact, the Jets have a good offensive line. They got a good running back. The running back is good. And their quarterback actually was doing a real good job with the pressure that he was getting on him. So he actually surprised me how well he was doing with that pressure. And he ran a few times and everything like that. So that was good from their end. They wasn't going to do no better than that against that defense. That defense is formidable. And so when you have a defense that plays like that, you ain't going to have no offense. I don't care who the hater is. We're going to see. It's time to go.
It's that time to go. Well, I see Book over there, man. He biting, he usually, that's Mr. Facebook.
I'm going live.
Going live. What's your take on it, JB?
Man, piggyback off my boy Tim, man. I really think, the defense is they playing lights out football, man. I mean, lights out. I mean, every position, man. Linebackers, the ends, everybody's playing their job. And then, like you say, when you got a defense playing like that, and then when you got an offensive coordinator calling plays like he's calling, man, I just see that, we got a balanced team, man. We balanced.
We real balanced. I believe that.
We're a very balanced team, and then, everybody is doing their job.
That's right.
Everybody's doing their job, man, and that. I'm impressed with that.
You impressed with it?
Yeah, because when the pocket was breaking down, he took off running, and that's his game.
That was a good omen.
That's his game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as Dak do that, man, because the defense win championship. Only thing the offense got to do is do a little bit to score. If the offense score 30 points, man, there's no way the Cowboys should be in the NFC championship this year.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that take, man. I agree with that analogy on that. But I'm going to come over to my man, D.A., man, because I know what y'all about to blow. I'm about to blow. I got to come to him because he got something to add to that to piggyback on. D.A., what you talking about, man? Come on, man.
I'm on this show, man. You got to keep these dudes level-headed because they will go cowboy crazy on this. Say, man, let me just critique your team from a non-cowboy perspective.
Here we go.
Your defense seems to be pretty good, right? Seems to be, because you gotta look at it. You gotta put it in context.
But pretty good.
Pretty good team. They're pretty good defense. They ain't as good as ours, but they pretty good. They're not as good as ours, but they pretty good.
Who is ours? Larry, you say who is us? Let me tell everybody.
They already know. 49ers, in case you don't know. 49ers. Say, man, look, you played against the Giants. That's strike one right there. I mean, who thought that the Giants? Who thought that the Giants? Look who they played. They played the worst team in the league. They played Arizona without Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Arizona doesn't even have a team. They the worst team in the league probably.
They're close.
They're close. So
they won other words.
You can't go by the Giants on how good your defense is, even though you did what you're supposed to do. And you can't go by the Jets without Aaron Rodgers. That boy shouldn't even be a quarterback in the league. Zach Wilson should not even be in the league.
He's gonna be all right.
How?
Some people develop a little bit slower than what people think. It's only
he shouldn't even be in the league.
Second year. Some people take a little while to develop. You need to give him an opportunity to develop because actually he did a lot of good things last week. If you watching him, he threw that ball on where he could throw it. He had a receiver. He was getting it to Wilson, and Wilson was eating up some stuff. That boy's a bad boy.
I got a question for you.
So he's gonna be okay.
I got a question for you.
He's gonna be okay.
Who would you have, Zach Wilson or Shedeur Sanders?
Ooh, man. You know, that's
now,
a
if you even got to think about that, that tell you how bad
that's a no-brainer for me.
I'm just saying, that boy has no future. The Jets quarterback has zero future. That's all I'm saying. So,
you said Jets gonna get him?
No, I'm
Jets
saying
gonna be too good to get him.
He's just saying right now.
I'm saying that quarterback is that bad where people would say, "I'll take Shadua over him," and this man been in the league.
Well, potential. Shadua has great quarterback potential.
That's my point. Zach has none.
He has good quarterback potential. That's it. He don't have a high ceiling, but he does have a ceiling.
The Jets should have found a quarter. They should have been on the phone while Aaron Rodgers was on the cart looking for a quarterback.
Right then.
Ain't nobody
right
out
there.
there, though.
But I'm gonna say this though.
Anybody's better than Wilson. I'm telling you, he's not good, man. You'll see.
Going back to Dak Prescott. I agree with you. He played a solid game, but I think Mike McCarthy found his recipe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As it pertains to Dak Prescott. Now there was a moment because when he started out, he was 12 of 12, hitting on 12 of 12 passes. I think he threw for about like 255 yards, had about a 81% quarterback rating, and a 112 passing rating. Solid game, solid performance. But there was a moment where when Sauce Gardner almost picked him off, right?
Would have changed the game.
Could have changed the game. He went up, hold on for a second. But they started passing a little bit too much. Y'all remember the sequence where he went out there, he threw maybe like 7 or 8 passes.
Right.
And I said, it's okay. It's time to really back in. It's time to really back in. Because we had kind of stopped running the ball.
But listen to what you're saying.
But hold on, let me finish.
Reeling back in.
Hold on for a second. Last week we discussed how we needed Dak. Dak, I need you to stay right about 20 yards.
Yeah, we talked about that.
About 30 yards a need. Right. We don't need you way down there throwing 50, 60, 70 yard passes. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? The longest pass completion yesterday was a quick slant to CD Lamb for 31 yards. Went for 31 yards. And then he had another pass for 25 yards. See, that's a recipe for success when you got a defense playing the way Dallas defense is playing. So why would you want to go outside of that box? Trying to put up these gaudy numbers. So this is one of the reasons why I'm glad Mike McCarthy decided to kind of really mean. They went like 7. I can't remember exactly about 7, 8.
Let me just say
passes.
one quick thing, and then y'all can why he should every now and then come outside that box. Because you're not gonna be able to you're not gonna play the Giants and the Jets every week. You're gonna eventually have to play against somebody where you're not gonna be able to just do that.
But wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, I got stop. Hey, I'm like, stop the press. It's one thing to talk about the offense of the New York Jets, that side of the ball. There wasn't nothing wrong with the Jets defense.
Jets got a defense.
Wasn't nothing wrong with that defense. And you take what the what the defense is gonna give you. So I'm saying Mike McCarthy, the way he did, if you want to play up, and he didn't have his deep threat in Brandon Cooks. He didn't have his deep threat.
No matter what kind of defense you have, if your offense cannot move the ball, keep the other offense off the field, your defense is eventually going to break down.
Check this out.
No matter what kind of defense you have, you got to have somebody who can score.
Time of possession was owned by Dallas, so they actually possessed the ball. It wasn't even close. In fact, it was like 40 to 20. Yeah. So in that means that they controlled the whole narrative. And not only that, he did take 2 shots down the field. One was a Toby. Toby stopped running. Should have kept running. Yeah, but they controlled the narrative. And so they threw the right passes they needed to, and they running that offense. That's what that offense does. Yeah. That is that offense. That's the Colts offense. We call it Colts.
Yeah, that's our
that's Colts offense.
That's coordinator offense. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you talking. Right. It's the Colts offense.
Right.
We got the Gulf Coast down there. It's the Gulf Coast offense.
That dirty water offense. That's that dirty water offense.
That's right, because we run the ball. Oh, it's a little dirty when you run that ball. You get that hammer.
Oh, it's like dirty rice or something like that.
I got you. Yeah, dirty rice. You run the ball, it's going to be a little dirty.
So who's going to be the test for you? Who's going to make
I told you last week.
When the Cowboys went there and beat them.
You got to come to 49 territory and
Levi Stadium.
Levi Stadium.
They got the Gucci jeans up there.
The next show after that. No, we don't.
We're gonna call it Gucci Stadium.
See, that's where you're going wrong.
Hold on, he got something. You said the next show after what? After we
y'all come to 49 land and beat us, I'm bowing to all 3 of y'all.
Really?
On the
We're gonna change Levi Stadium to Gucci Stadium, or some other pair of jeans. I don't know who Levi. We're gonna change the name on that. We coming up there and we gonna wreck shop, man. You best believe that. But again, I think Dallas defense, man. When they caught the crossing route, of course we know I got a free safety. My guy from Ohio State, Lee Hooker took the wrong angle.
Right.
And Wilson got that way, man. Zachary Wilson got that way for the score. But I just think when you have that monster in the middle, number 11 from heaven, as they say, that line. You see, he might paint this goal, man. Man,
I ain't never seen nothing like him.
Ball, man. That's a wrecking ball.
He set the tone, man.
He sets the tone,
man. Just think about it. Your boy Lawrence came off the line on the first play, right? He set the tone with that sack right from the beginning. Boom! Right. Then after that, Parsons said, "Okay."
Right.
He just went. Man, he was getting off that ball so fast.
Man, I ain't never seen
from the left side, from the right side.
I ain't never seen that like it in my life.
LT was bad, but
I'm
man,
Michael
Parsons
inside, wherever
you line him up at, man.
That's the only dude that scared me on y'all whole defense.
Really?
Are you serious?
That's it.
Man, you don't see them floodgates?
Take him off the defense and watch y'all become super average.
Well, he's part of.
I'm just saying he's that.
So you ain't gonna give DeMarcus Lawrence them no love, no shout out, none of that.
I mean, I ain't got nothing against them. I'm just saying, take Micah off that field and you become an average.
You know,
defense.
we can do the same thing.
They do take him off.
Take Nick Bosa.
Take Nick Bosa off.
Take Nick Bosa.
We don't need.
Oh no! You heard it here on the replay. You gonna take Nick Bosa?
Take Nick Bosa off, and we still kill anybody.
He don't believe that. Look how he like. He don't believe that.
But you take. But say Nick.
So you saying? But listen, that's a good question.
Nick Bosa plays one spot. He plays the end, and you know what he's gonna do. You don't know what Michael's gonna do. Michael come from anywhere.
They just now. Well,
Nick Bosa can't touch. He can't touch Michael.
Nah. I take Michael Parsons any day.
And I ain't no Cowboy fan, so you know.
I take definitely. I take Michael Parsons any day. I think DQ, what he's doing, Dan Quinn, defense coordinator, what he's doing is a marvelous job of moving them around this year.
That's right.
Having them guess, and you're right. It opens up. It's just like a basketball player, man, who's really tough in them blocks. Whether it's Hakeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if you in them blocks, you know where the cutters are going, man. Like it just makes it easier. And he's what I call it. He's like a point guard on defense.
That's right.
Normally that's the free safety, right? But for me, Mike Parsons is like that. He's that facilitator, man. He makes it so much easier for the person. And you know something else? If you don't show up on the field after Michael Parsons joined double, sometimes triple team, even check, say, man, you're going to get called out in the film room.
Yeah, you sure right.
I'm telling you right now, you're going to get called out in the film room.
He made a play this week, boy. He went double here. He shook here.
Oh, you see him?
Back inside.
Did you see him when he gave the right foot? I say, same, man.
This dude out here hooping, man.
Hold on, he showed him what he's going to do before the snap. He gave him a pre-snap preview.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to do that to you. Can you stop it?
Man, he jabbed. I
he
said,
did the Larry Bird thing on
I said, he done better. He don't look at the Muhammad Ali tape. I thought he was finna do the shuffle and everything else.
Man.
Okay, well, check this out. We're going to continue the show on this great episode we have right now. But coming up, I got a special treat for you guys. I'm just going to wait till I bring them on to the stage. But come on back, go get your popcorn, drink you some water, and come on back to the replay.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Since I was little, it was only like me and my parents.
You think you created family out of characters?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna take that, make it into a song.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head. Where you at on the way out? In my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Hey, welcome back to the replay. Joining me today, man, I got a special guest. Special guest sitting to my right is none other than sports agent E.J. Muhammad. I'm so glad to have my nephew joining us on the replay today. Man, we're going to get into it. I got to ask him this because he's doing so much right now, transitioning life after football, but we'll get into that just a second. But I want to ask you, while you're joining me now, do you miss the game, nephew? Do you miss the game?
No, I don't.
You don't miss the game?
I don't.
You don't miss the game?
Because when you play the game 100% and give it everything you got, there's no reason to miss it.
There you go.
You know?
There you go.
Every time I suited up, it was like my last time suiting up. You know, you go to a game, you prepare. You play a violent game of football, you never know. It could be your last snap and you play.
Absolutely.
So every time I suited up, it was my last time. In my mind, it was my last time.
That's right.
Obviously, you know, I went through with it and, you know, had a great career. But now I'm on to bigger and better things.
Bigger and better. And let's talk about that career for a second, because I know you started out, humble beginning, you started out at Midlothian High School, I believe, and then you transferred from Midlothian and wound up at DeSoto High School your last year. Mm-hmm. And you played Little League against this guy right here.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then I know later from DeSoto High School you wound up going to Nevada.
Right.
The Wolf Pack.
The
Wolf Pack. So what was that transition like for you when you wound up going to DeSoto, leaving DeSoto, going to Nevada, between the high school and college ranks?
Yeah, I mean, DeSoto is like college. I mean, you know, you playing with college guys, you know, from freshmen all the way to seniors, everybody like that DeSoto. Like DeSoto is I've never seen nothing like it before. So
shout out to DeSoto, powerhouse.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. So transitioning from high school to college wasn't that much of a big difference for me, because it was like every day I was going against somebody who was a college level player. So when I got to Nevada, it was more of just like the scheme and dealing with the coaches. Like college football is more like you got to understand the game. The game, like I'm talking about the game, not the football game, the game within the college game, if that makes sense.
Right. You're
dealing with coaching staffs who, you know, they got egos, they got different things they want to implement on their team. So you got to figure out that part of the game as opposed to the game on the field, if that makes sense.
Right. Absolutely.
So it wasn't really a hard transition going from high school to college. It was more understanding how you fit in that scheme of what they got going on in college. That's really what it is.
Well, you fit pretty well, man. I got some stats here, man. I got some stats here. I mean, within the 2 years that you was able to touch the field, I know you had you got an injury and you was redshirt 1 year, right? Injuries and stuff like that. And I know sometimes those things could be a setback, but you made it your greatest comeback, though. You finished the last 2 years the way you're supposed to finish them. Exactly. You know, you had recorded like 78 solo tackles, 123 total tackles, 13 pass deflections. I like that. With a pick in the Idaho Potato Bowl. How did that feel to get that pick in that bowl game like that?
It felt good, you know, because we was the momentum was swinging a little bit. They was starting to go on a run, and that interception kind of changed the game. Put it back in our favor. So. My last college game playing, it was good to get that, and you know, we was victorious. I ended up leaving with 3 bowl rings, so that was my last one that I got. I should have brought it with me.
You're a winner, man. You're a winner. You're a winner, though. And that's how you
gotta bring the bowl.
And that's right. That's how you want to leave. You want to leave, man. Going in as a winner, leaving as a winner.
Yeah, we was definitely able to change the program around. For sure. But
let me ask you this here, segue over here right quick to my left over here, because this guy here, man, he been knowing you for. In fact, you can get a close shot right there. That's him in the all white right there. He's up on the wall of fame. The wall of fame. That's him right there. But I know y'all competed against him in Little League, book.
Man, just from hearing this guy say what he just said, now I understand why he was the player he was at a young age. Me and his dad, we always competed against each other.
I remember.
And I actually never had a chance, the opportunity to beat this cat. Every time I lined up against this guy, he beat me. He played quarterback, and when I tell you, man, he was a smart kid. I remember one game we was playing. It was one of those tight games, one of the real tight games. And nephew, I guess he seen me, you know, cause this was C team. You could actually be on the field with the kids.
Right.
And so when I shift my linebacker, he ready. That sucker, man, he out of the plate. And went straight up the middle and ran by me, man. I said, God.
It was gone.
And he was 8 and was gone. But he's always been an amazing player, man. He always worked hard, and the kid always left it on the line, man. And it was always great to be able to compete against him and go up against him. You know, we had always had great games against each other, man. The Cowboys and the Texans, man.
I remember.
You know, we was the top teams out there at that time.
Right.
And his dad and their organization had great coaching staff, man.
Shout out to Elijah, Muhammad. That's who he named out of my brother. His dad, Elijah. Big shout out to Elijah.
Yeah, but man, you know, great kid, man, and I think, you know, happy for you for your accomplishments and things that you know that you had it with your aging career, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna be sending you some people.
Appreciate that.
That's right.
Was
we gonna certainly get into that because I want to come to you because for those of you who may not know, not only did he ball out at Nevada, but his brother Kyrie played at North Texas.
That's right. Now I got a chance to coach Kyrie. Cause me and his daddy hooked up in the latter year.
You went and stole him?
I had to.
I know when like about stealing a kid a few times here and there. But Kyrie was tough at North Texas.
Yes, sir.
But Mean Green playing defensive back.
Yes,
His position, well, actually, defensive coordinator was Coach Troy Reffett. He played with me at University of Texas El Paso, and I just knew Troy was going to be a coach. If nothing else, he was going to be a coach. But his brother was Kyrie Muhammad, and then he got his brother is a starting right corner for the Washington Huskies, the number 18, if they haven't moved up in the polls, the number 8 Washington Huskies. Right. So you come from that tree.
My little brother too. Yeah, SMU.
Oh, how can I forget?
Then he got
forgive me. And I just saw him. I just saw him at SMU. Abdul Muhammad, the switch knife player, that 2-time defending state champion, South Oak Cliff. Yes. Number 27 for the SMU Mustang. That's his brother also. And his cousin.
My cousins too. Yeah.
Malik Muhammad.
They on the wall too.
Yes, sir. They on the wall of fame too.
Who's got AJ either?
First start AJ Green, cousin for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, just a long list. And wait a minute, we can't forget about his cousin, female cousin, who's hooping for the University of Texas.
Right?
Yeah, niece. Yeah.
Amina Muhammad.
And the cousin that played corner for Texas.
Yep. Yeah, we just said Malik.
Okay.
That's a strike. I need 10 push-ups. That's a strike. That's a strike. Yeah, but Malik Muhammad is his cousin. But talented family, man. I've known these young people, man, since they was in the womb of their mother, man. And I'm so proud to see the work that they have done in the past and what they're continuing to do. And one of the things about them that I've always had an appreciation for is that they understand hard work. You know, since I've known, his dad, his uncles, and all that, they don't know what filling out a job application look like, and I can honestly say that. I played with his oldest uncle, Reginald Muhammad. For those of you all may not remember, played at SMU back in the day. He was my high school teammate, and he played with Daryl also, one of the hosts here on the show too. We all played at Wilma Hutchins together. Okay. So yeah, that's my guy, that's my brother. And of course, this is not only, y'all hear me say spiritual nephews. It's not just because, he and I are of the Islamic faith, and like I said, I've been knowing his family, man, for so many years. It's a talented family, deep family, a loving family, and they give their time and energy. We had Tim and I, he remember just back in April, we had the SAC High School Combine. They came out, him, Kyrie, AJ Green. Who else was that day? Came out and helped out, man, with the combine that we did. Up at Carter High School, and then after they left there, they went and fed the homeless. So great young men, man, and I just couldn't wait for them to come on to the show, man, so we can talk about his past, the present, and his future, because we're about to segue into that right now. So now we got life after football, right? And now you told me you was going to do this. You told me you was going to get your sports agent license, your certification. You have done that.
Yes, sir.
You have done that. I'm proud. Give it up, man. Let's go. Give it up, man. Give it up. So talk to us a little bit about that. What was the process in getting that, and the future endeavors?
Yeah. So every athlete, no matter what you play, no matter what stage of your career, there's gonna be a time when it comes where you gotta stop playing. And for me, I didn't want to be one of those guys that didn't really have an identity outside of football. I come from a family, like you said, with a lot of entrepreneurs, business-minded people, and my dad raised me to always just think outside the box, right? So when I was done playing ball, I was like, man, I had like 2 weeks though. I was like depressed a little bit. I was like, man, like,
when the crowd stops cheering, you trying to figure out, what's the next move?
You go from being on a pedestal, like everybody, looking up to you. That's right. You like, man, like, I'm this great football player. My little brother look up to me. My kids in the community look up to me. So it's like, once you lose that identity, once you lose that football player identity, you're like, man, like, where do I go from here? So from that point on, I literally, after those 2 weeks, I spent like 2 weeks just like kind of reflecting and thinking, just hoping for a call, waiting for a call. And I was like, man, from this day forward, like, I wanted to be in a position to call my own shots, not wait for a call.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Now, hold on, I want you to say it again. You want to be in a position to call your own shots and not wait for a shot.
Not wait for a call.
Waiting for a call. Love that.
Yeah, I
love that. You're hiring yourself.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be in a position where I was waiting on somebody else to put something in motion for me. I kind of wanted to be in a position where I could do it for myself.
Absolutely.
And, that's come from my dad, like just being, instilling that in me as a kid. I was his oldest out of the boys, and just like he was always the hardest on me.
It's always going to be
That's
personal.
right.
So,
That's right.
I had to, be the leader of the group. So, I just always wanted to do for myself. I always wanted to do business. I didn't know what aspect I wanted to go into, but I had a business marketing and business management background in college. So, took a lot of classes, met a lot of people, and the relationships I built with sports, and then my dad with the business side, it was like no brainer.
No-brainer.
It just kind of came together, and I was able to combine that. Did my research, ended up getting my master's degree, because you have to have a master's degree or a law degree to be a sports agent in the NFL.
Right.
So I got my master's degree. Really, they paid for where I was playing. I was just finishing my last semester, so I finished that up, and then from that point on, it was I put my head down towards the goal, and I studied. It's a lot of information with the NFL. You got to negotiate contracts. You got to be able to get these players the maximum amount of money they can while they're playing. So they make it hard on you to get certified. They're not letting just anybody in there. So even with the test, it's like 30% pass rate, 25% pass rate. So and like 600 people take it every year. So
wow.
I was able to study, really lock in, and I wasn't talking to nobody. I was just in my room, just locked in, trying to make sure I achieve this goal, so I can really move on with my future. So that's kind of how it came into play.
Well, I know Tim and myself, and I went undrafted as a free agent and had an agent and stuff back then. I wished that I would have known now, that they say, if I'd known back then what I know now, I certainly would have got into that field. I tried to a little bit later on with my brother and I, him being an attorney himself.
Okay.
I remember him telling me he had paid the $2,500, which he didn't, which was non-refundable, but didn't take the test. But anyway, I know, Tim, you dealt with agents by your playing career, what have you.
I want to say first, I'm proud of you.
Appreciate it.
And there's nothing an astute mind, okay? Because you're an astute mind.
Yes, sir.
Can accomplish, okay? With hard work and consistency. I know you raised that way. I can listen to you, and so that's definitely a blessing. But I had an agent when I first came out, but my second year, which ended up being my best, I negotiated myself.
Wow.
And so I had a chance to meet with the general managers, have a discussion with them on the phone. And I promise you, those conversations weren't nice. Oh, they was nasty and mean. But I had my numbers, because I was very good at numbers. My background is finance. And so I'm talking numbers with them, all that kind of stuff. I'm also doing a comparison, because also marketing is a part of my background as well. So I'm talking marketing, because I'm also talking about other players and doing a comparison, what their numbers are and what my numbers should be. But I'll say this. It would have been great if I had representation that looked like me at that time, so I didn't have to be the person in front. Because what happened with that is that you get a reputation when you represent yourself, right? Marketing and media-wise. If you have to represent yourself, you get a reputation because they see you have to be hard. So when I have to meet with a Ackles and a Cassidy and a Bedford, okay, I had to meet with all of them. So discussion and what's called for Green Bay as well too. And meeting with them, they got some cruel moments. I'm talking about cruel. They said some cruel things. So to deal with that and then to be strong in that, they don't realize they call you arrogant. So you get a reputation of being arrogant when you stand up for yourself and know exactly what your worth is. Right. So to have a buffer in that would be great. And tell us why it's important that you can actually represent people.
I mean, first of all, as an athlete, it's so much stuff you have going on in your life. You want to be able to focus on what pays the bills. This is you producing on the field, right? So as long as you are producing, you're creating a market for yourself. As long as you know what you're supposed to do, locking in with the coaches, making plays on the field. I want my clients to be able to lock in, do what they got to do on the field, and I handle everything off the field, keep it business, right? And me being in that space before, I understand I can relate to athletes, what they go through on a day-to-day basis, and that's why I'm gonna be able to relate to my future clients, is because I'm not too far removed from the game. So I'm kind of like right in between. I'm only 26, and the guys I'm gonna be talking to like 22, 20, 21, 23. So I can relate to them, and then I learned the business for the past 2 years, so I'm gonna be like that buffer, like you said, to be able to talk how I need to talk behind closed doors, but keep it professional on the outside, right? So, and then like you said, I look like them too. So you know, it's not a lot of agents that. Well, there are some agents like you said, Rich Paul. It's a lot of people that blaze a trail, you know, for me to be in this space. And you said the next Rich Paul, but I don't want to be the next Rich Paul. I want to be
next
EJ Muhammad.
That's right.
So it's like as time goes on, everything elevates, right?
Absolutely.
I just kind of want to take what he's done and be able to just do it times 10. Take it to the next level.
Well, absolutely. You know, as they say, elevation causes constant expansion. And so when you see names like the Rich Paul, and there's many others like that, or the late great Eugene Park and so forth, you know, I think you would be the next one in line. And like we talked about opportunity and so forth. But let's say this. I know you got you know, you're an important man in college and stuff like that. But I want to let everybody know. I say he's coming. As they say, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. You better get on with him right now. This is the first time he's on the replay, but it won't be the last time because I want to have you back. Because I think by the time this next draft come around, I think we're gonna have you know, the numbers are gonna definitely be up, and I think when you look up, you know, you'll be standing right next to the Rich Pauls of the world. You'll be the next EJ Muhammad. So, EJ, I want to thank you, my nephew, for coming to the replay. Absolutely. And we're going to look forward to bringing you back, man, in the future. And to the end, we say, inshallah, God's will. I'm going to talk to you soon, man, okay? Yeah, proud of you.
And you're a great leader, too, man.
Appreciate it.
Keep being a great leader.
Yes, sir.
Always
Keep being a great leader.
Yeah.
So, coming up, we're going to get into this game that went in double overtime. Right back, Colorado and Colorado State. We're going to talk about it.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little credit.
You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
Welcome back. So now we're going to get into this, what happened this past weekend with these Colorado Buffaloes and Colorado State Rams. You know, a lot was talked about the game prior to going to the game. A lot of what Coach Novell was talking about with Deion Sanders and his shades and his glasses. And you know what? People was talking about, man, when he said that Colorado might hang 80 points. They might hang 80 points on them Colorado State Rams. But say, man, them Colorado State Ram kids came to play.
They came to play.
They was vicious out there, man, and they didn't back down. He said what he said, meant what he said, and he was ready to back up what he said. So we're gonna talk about that, man, because once again, another phenomenal game by Shedeur Sanders. So
Yes,
Daryl
sir.
D, I'm gonna come your way first. What's your take on this game this past weekend?
Man, I was very surprised with Colorado State and how they, I was surprised that they even came out the first quarter and was that strong, because I just knew Colorado,
Right.
like you said, was gonna drop 80 on them. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a blowout. Let me get ready to watch.
Right.
But they had some dogs. I mean, I don't know if it was all because of the hype that week, but I was very, very impressed, and I actually thought Colorado was going to lose that game.
I did too.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's no exaggeration. I thought they were going to lose.
Well, I'm going to say this because, that was a point in the game. We're going to talk about Shedeur, man. Got to talk about that kid, man. Because I think what he did with the time that was left, I guess it was 90-some seconds on the board or whatever the case may be, and took them down to 98 yards. You talk about poise. You talk about, man, I mean, all of the work that he's put in, and we've seen this before now when he's at JSU, but I know the question was, can he do it at the next level and then the next level after that? And he did exactly that. He would not let them lose. He refused to let them lose.
That brought me to something that Tim was saying last week. The difference between arrogance and confidence.
That's right.
Right.
Is that what you said?
Right.
If you arrogant, you can't really, you don't respond well to controversy or adversity, but if you know,
right, he has a certain
and that's all I thought about, man. That compliment he made when he took them 98 yards, I'm like, he's the real deal.
Colorado,
no matter what.
We went down there, man, and got the double overtime, even though it took them double overtime. But and they need these kind of games, though.
That's right.
To come out with a 43-35 victory, man, they need these kind of games because, one, you can see your mistakes on the film.
That's right.
And you understand you still have work to do. And it's going to humble you or put you back on an even keel where now we understand when we in adverse situations, this is how we got to play as a team.
Right.
Because remember, they lost Travis Hunter early in the game.
Right.
He took that vicious hit by the safety from Colorado State, Henry Blackburn, which many thought that was a cheap shot.
I thought it was
What you think, Tim? You thought it was a cheap?
I thought it was a cheap shot.
It was definitely personal. Okay, this game was personal on both sides. You know, Deion Sanders said, "Hey, this is personal."
Right.
But Colorado State made it personal as well.
Right.
And so not only did they make it personal, to me, I watched that hit, and the coach said it was a bang bang shot. He said he went back and watched the film, and it was a bang bang. It wasn't a bang bang. I know what a bang bang is. So, I do a bang bang myself. But he had enough time to pause, take a sip, and then hit the dude. Okay, because he went around somebody and hit him, but the ball already was out. Right. And so there was no reason for him to make that shot. That was personal. And then you talking about the other young guy named Muhammad, I think, at the end of the game, who actually hit Shador at the end of the game. That was personal because he drove him into the field. So that wasn't called for. So to me, the coach said, we don't play that way, but they played that way.
Right.
So they was taking personal shots. There was arguments before the game, pre-game. They about to get at it.
Yeah,
so to me, those shots were planned. So they want to take those shots, and that's the part I know we're going to get into.
It was
about
premeditated.
Yeah,
ain't no doubt about it. It was premeditated.
Right.
And that's the part we're going to get into about when this is football. This is what you're talking about. You weren't sure about the competitiveness. This is football, though. So just think about the time. It's time when you're better than another team, but they come to play. See, that's why each weekend there's a game. That's why we watch it so much. Because each weekend, we don't know exactly what we're going to get because the other team are men as well.
Right.
And men take pride in what they do. Right. And they come to play, and they'll play hard. And they did. Colorado State came to play hard. But I'm going to say this about Shador real quick, too. Shador was making pro throws.
Yeah.
He was throwing the ball in tight windows.
Yeah, he was.
See, there's a difference between you can get away with, you have a smart quarterback now. He's smart. You have a smart quarterback. You can have one that actually has nice touch. But if he can't get that window, he's going to be limited. He's only going his career is only going to go so far. But if you want to be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, you got to be able to throw in tight windows, plus the other two things too. You got to be smart, you got to be able to have some touch as well.
Right.
But if you want to be top 10, I say top 5. Top 5, you got to be able to do all three of those things. And he got it.
Well, Book, you thought it was cheap.
I thought it was a cheap shot. I thought it was a cheap shot, but I love the leadership. It was Shador, how he stepped up to the guy.
Absolutely.
Let him know that he I like that. He showed that he's a team player and he's down for whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean it was literally, man, playing, man. That guy, I mean, he was literally out of bounds.
Well, look what he did when he after the hit. Shador walked over there too.
That's what I'm talking about. How he
So you know what I'm saying. So
that's what I'm. I like the way he did
start
that.
to finish. And I'm gonna tell you, when you have, that's why they wore the L and not the C. He has the leader on his jersey. When you got an individual like that, he becomes like your general.
That's right.
And if your general, way back when, the generals used to be on the battlefield with the troops. Wasn't nobody sitting up calling shots from the confinements of your own movie room looking at. No, they was on the battlefield with them. So you need individuals like that. So when I look at a Shador Sanders, man, first of all, the kid had like an 81% passing rating somewhere in there. He threw for nearly 350 yards. 4 touchdowns with 1 interception. Mm-hmm. And the only other numbers that I've seen that's comparable to those is Michael Penix Jr. over at Washington, who himself, he threw for like 473 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Ooh. So in those comparisons, man, I think those two individuals, I know
don't forget about it.
Who? No, hold on for a second. Okay. I'm saying Caleb Williams, they didn't play. I think USC had a bye.
Yeah,
they had a bye.
Mm-hmm.
No one's forgetting Caleb Williams, but I'm just simply saying these guys you see them consistent week in and week out, and I think these two individuals are definitely going to be pushing for the Heisman Trophy. But to your point, though, Booker, I think Shador Sanders, man, he's NFL ready, man, and take his game from the HBCU, and them talk about that. Can he do it on this level? and he's proven he threw for more yards in his first game ever out the gate, over 500 yards.
That's right.
It just shows that, man, when you got the talent, you got the work ethic, when preparation meets opportunity, man, you're going to take full advantage of it. So I'm so proud of what he was able to do and produce, man, in their pocket, because they could have easily given up.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Colorado State did enough to take the dog out of them. But them kids, even Jimmy Horn, and you see one of the, I think Travis Hunter get about 100, average about 112 to 20 plays a game. So that's a big part of percentage on your offense and defense.
That was missing.
And the kid they put in there at the left corner when Travis came out. See, that's another big thing. Yeah. He the one that caught the number 14. I forget his name for Colorado. He the one caught the slant going. For the touchdown. So you miss a guy like Travis Hunter, man. Right, and so we want to wish Travis Hunter success in getting back, man, speedy recovery and stuff like that. Cause I think he had lacerated liver. So we hope that he get back on the field as soon as possible.
But I know something real quick about the whole situation. I mean, this is just coming from me. It might be totally off. Man, I think the next few weeks we need to take the pressure off those boys, man, and I think we need to bring it down a notch so they can just focus on playing football without all the other. Because these boys just focus on, because personally I think if it hadn't been for all of the hype that week, I think they would have blown Colorado State out.
Yeah. You know what?
I really do.
You know what, DA?
That gave him life.
And that's a very interesting take that he just stated, because I was talking about you can get someone up and galvanize them to a certain level, but can they sustain that?
That's right.
And I'm telling you, that's one of the hardest things to do, to be able to sustain that for 11, 10, 11, 12 weeks out. Now you got some teams who are deep. That can be able to do that, but man, that's
a Georgia.
But that's a lot of energy. You coach Pop Warner, I coach Pop Warner. Right. We've been coached. Right. That's a lot of energy just as a coach.
As a coach,
man, it takes a lot of. I used to be drained messing with these kids.
Right, man.
Go you up early in the morning, right? Man, I used to be drained. Like man, how you keep? And boy, if you got anything to do with the next team, A team, B team, say man, it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of you.
Well, you look at that. They have a target on their back. They created the target. They did.
Right.
Yeah, with all the hype you guys mentioned. Right. They put that bullseye right there on their back and right in their chest.
Yeah.
Now, can you handle that week to week like you guys are saying? So they got to come through, not only that, and they coming through where actually they coming tougher teams.
Now it's the real test
on their recipe. So it's going to be real important that actually they stay together and actually fight through this, because it's going to be tough coming up.
Yeah.
And so I only got one little thing to say on this, and I'll finish, is that they got to be careful with the things they say in the fight come in, because they also target individual as well, just like Travis was targeted.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Some definitely think about. Absolutely some definitely think about. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about what we got coming up on this next one. This fourth one is something I don't even know if y'all are familiar with, but I'm gonna put it out there. But we're gonna have these picks. The games coming up. We're gonna get about 2 games on this college and this NFL. We're gonna see what these boys gonna do next week. Colorado got to go into Oregon, and then you got the Cowboys going up to Arizona, right? We playing Arizona.
We play Arizona.
Yeah, we gotta look at that, man. We got all my goodness. You know what I mean? We just lining them up. We don't count. We just line them up. But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
To the park that day.
I'll see y'all. Batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations.
Okay, and welcome back. So we got another thing we're about to do that we didn't get a chance to do it the last 2 weeks, but we're gonna do this thing today, man. We got these picks coming up. We got the college games as well as the NFL games, and we're gonna do these picks today. I had to get this in today. We need to make sure. I want it on the record. Yeah, I went on the record today. So we're going to start with this college thing, man. You know, you got Colorado, who just came off a tough outing. You know, they lost key players. They got to go into Oregon. They got to go into Eugene, Oregon to play them Ducks. So who you liking in that game right there, DA?
Man, I usually don't pick with my heart. So I got to go with Oregon. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I'll go with Oregon 28-20.
28-20? Yeah. 28-20?
I don't know about the Oregon. That defense, their defense is pretty good. I'm still not sure about it. It's so early in the season. So this game is so early, so you're still finding your way. But I'm going to pick Colorado. My mind says Oregon. My heart say Colorado. Yeah. And I'm picking, because I think it's going to be a little bit up. I think it's going to be 35-31.
35-31. What about you, JB?
I'm going with Colorado. I'm going with Colorado.
I'm looking at your eyes. I think that's a hard.
I'm going with my heart. I'm going with my heart. I'm going with my heart.
Okay.
I want Deion. I'm going with my heart, but like he said, Oregon defense ain't that strong. So I think it's going to be like, who can outscore who? And I think Deion gonna have.
Give me a score. Give me a score.
I say I'm being biased. 35-21.
35-21. All right, we're gonna roll this back now. We have to. 35. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta lean towards the left. I gotta go from Colorado, but simply because I saw Oregon when they played Texas Tech and Lubbock, and not that Lubbock is another place where he can get up for you. They can galvanize and get up for you. And that defense I saw had some holes in it here and there. I do think that the type of game they just played, I think you can go in, look at the mistakes, and I think you can be galvanized by it. So I'm gonna take Colorado in a close one. I think I'm gonna go with probably I'm gonna say 24-17 Colorado. All right, so we got another game. We got another game. Right. Texas going up against Baylor. Now Baylor lost. I think they lost a close one. Was it this week or last week?
It was last week. They won this week.
They won this past week. Okay.
They won this week.
So who you like? Let me start over here with JB. Yeah. Let me start with JB over here.
I say Texas. I say Texas, man. Texas is like I said. Those guys they beat the SEC teams. There's no way there's no way anybody in the Big 12 going to beat them this year. And I know you're an Oklahoma guy, but I got Texas blowing them out.
Got to blow them out. And a blowout. Just say the blowout.
And then you got Murphy in the backfield. Murphy all everywhere. You got on the D-line.
All D-line, right. I got you.
They loaded over there, man. I say Baylor ain't got
blowout at least 20, right?
Blowout at least 20.
At least 20?
At least 20.
You gonna cover the spread. I don't know what the game with pick what the line is, but see what you got.
I'm gonna follow that train. I'm right there with you. Texas gonna do their thing. Baylor gonna try to play for a little while. It's gonna be a game for a bit, and then all of a sudden that power and that quarterback, he gonna actually take over.
I go with Texas 43-37.
43-30. It's a bit closer than 43-37. And I'm going to take Texas too, man. I'm not going to go against yours and that defense, man. Texas Longhorn. I think I'll pick the game 35-24. 35-24. All right, and last but not least on the collegiate level, we got Alabama and Ole Miss. Ole Miss. I'll start right here with TJ.
Yeah, that's I got. It's an interesting game because you got Lane Kiffin. He done said a few things about that. Right. Who's the defensive coordinator? Who's calling the plays?
Right. Got some in the window.
Yeah, he already created that, and then he tried to come back and say, like the coach has been doing with Deion. Oh no, I'm it don't really mean that much. So he tried to soften it back up, right? Yeah, I was just, I played with him, and I'm so appreciative of him giving me the opportunity he gave me in a rough time. So. Right. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. I think he already.
So you're taking Ole Miss, in other words?
No, I'm taking Alabama. Because
the quarterback. That in there. Yeah. You're gonna go Alabama.
No, I'm going Alabama because the quarterback. You don't score that well. 24-19.
24-19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got Alabama too. I don't think what Lane Kiffin is trying is gonna work with his group. So I go with Alabama. They're not gonna be pushed around this week. I go with Alabama. 35-20.
35-20. What about you, JB?
I'm going with my heart again. I'm going with Mississippi.
Yes.
Ole Miss. I'm going with Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss going to pull the upset off. I think right now Alabama's unbalanced right now. They don't have an identity right now with their quarterback and with their offense. So they everywhere right now. Ole Miss, They got a good defense. They got a strong running game. They got the best running back in SEC right now. I take Ole Miss 30-10.
30-10, but check this out. Hey, but guess what? Guess what?
My God,
I'm going with you, baby boy. I'm going to get on that with you. That was going to be my upset. That was be my upset. Nah, that's going to be my upset pick of the week. I'm going to take Ole Miss over Alabama. I don't see it being a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 23-17 Ole Miss.
I think that brother's gonna clown this week.
Well,
the one that got benched. Yeah, I think he's gonna put up some numbers this week.
Yeah, okay, all right. We done gave the picks. We done gave the picks. So let's get to the NFL level now. We're gonna call this NFL. So we're gonna start out with these 49ers and
let's go.
Who y'all playing? We playing AME Bethel Church.
Exactly. We sure are. The one y'all played the first game. You're absolutely right. I was thinking.
Okay, y'all got. They got.
Say now, check this out. Now the Giants this week.
The Giants ain't nothing. They ain't got no.
I already know.
But they don't have Barkley. They don't have Barkley now.
There you go. I got the Niners against
the Giants on the
New Bethel street team. We'll drop 38-17.
38-17.
All you gotta do is stop the pass.
38-17.
38-17.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna be second on this one right here. I'm gonna take the 49ers. Boy, it hurts me too. But I ain't finna get suckered out there and lose my eye. I'm gonna take the 49ers in they're not gonna go 40-0. Nah, they ain't gonna beat them 40-0. Nah. I might call a baseball score 6-2.
Go ahead, call it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say 49ers. I'm gonna say 49ers 31, Giants 17.
Good score.
You hit my number.
You read my number? I ain't got your note.
But I didn't say 17. It was 31 19. So that's what I was doing.
Okay, 31-19. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna take the 49ers. It hurts to do it because I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, right. But I am a football man. I'm gonna keep it 100. They got Debo, so I got 49ers beating them boys 21-10.
21-10. 21-10. Okay, and we got the Eagles up next. Philadelphia Eagles. They taking on
Bucks.
The Bucks. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's right. The Bucks. The Bucks. Bucks 2-0. I think their defense, man, kind of got a little bit healthy and so forth. But
we got a former teammate of mine up there.
Okay,
well, head coach.
Well, I know Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles.
Man,
but they playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, man, but I'm gonna tell you something. Just you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and lead this one off. I'm gonna take them Buccaneers, man.
Where's the game? Where are they playing?
On the field, it don't matter. It's the NFL.
Oh, it matters.
It don't matter when the Cowboys go. We go to East Rutherford, Jail. We go everywhere and take care of our business. But look, let's get to the score right quick. I'm gonna take because the Eagles been, and you know what's getting me right now. They doing it kind of a little bit like last year because it was some game they should have lost last year, and they squeaking them out. They squeaking them out. I'm gonna go with the Bucks, man. An upset over the Eagles, man. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 24-21, man. 24-21. What about you, DA?
Man, I think Philly is about to focus a little more because they, probably realize they haven't been playing up to their potential. So, I've always liked Baker Mayfield. I thought he always had some football swag, and I think he's with the right team. But I think Philly's gonna focus a little bit harder this week. So I'm gonna go with Philly 27-20.
27-20. Dang. And who you got, JB?
I got Philly going. I like Jalen Hurts. I got Philly beating the Bucks. I say 14-7.
14-7.
Defensive game. Almost a baseball score.
Yeah, Philly defense is not the defense from last year. With the new defensive coordinator came in.
Right.
So
right.
I don't see them. I don't see them. Falling to the Bucks.
Right.
I think they can.
That's the only slight chance I might give Baker. I'm not a Baker Mayfield guy. Not in the least.
Right.
But who knows? What will you take?
Well, you weren't reading my notes this time, so you picked the Bucks. That's my boy, though. I'm glad you did. So I hope he win. I hope he win, but I got the Philly 27-24.
27-24 Philadelphia. Okay, we say the best for last. The best for last.
What day is it? Doomsday.
On the what show? Replay. Nah, we're gonna say the best for last. We know America's team. They gonna be taking on those Arizona Cardinals, the hottest team in the league. If you lose it, but either way, the game got to be played. As they say, any given Sunday.
Yeah, not this Sunday though. Not against Arizona. They're the worst team in the league.
You can't go with Arizona upset.
Got the 3 worst teams in the league first 3 games.
Okay, who you got? Let me go with DA, man.
No, it's not.
That's not our fault.
I'm just stating facts.
Okay, let me go ahead and go with DA. Who you like?
Man, I got the Cowboys 42-10.
I couldn't get an upset pick out.
42 to
10.
Yes.
42 to 10.
Yes.
And he's saying it with emphasis. What about
and I hate the Cowboys. Man. So just imagine.
42 to 10.
Just imagine if I liked you, what I say.
Oh my goodness. 42 to 10.
I wouldn't even think about 42. 42. It could
better
be.
Start thinking about
I don't know. We may pull out. I say 35 to 13.
35.
That's 13. Only one touchdown away.
I know.
35, 13.
I'm gonna say 28-7.
28-7.
All right.
28-7. Yeah, I think Dallas, man, they kind of hate giving up them 10 points. I think they gave 10 points to the Jets. I think they're going to come back and really try to shut these boys out, man. So, but they might wind up with a field goal. So I'm going to say Dallas 31, Arizona 3. Yeah.
I like that.
And so, hey, man, this is going to conclude another episode on the show, The Replay. But I want to say this, and I don't know if you all are familiar with this. We want to send our condolences out to the Brown family, Sergio Brown. Former NFL player, his mother, man, was assaulted. They found her body out in Mayflower, suburb of Chicago, Illinois, in Mayflower, Illinois, and he's still missing. He played with, he started in 2010 with the New England Patriots, and but he's no longer playing. The last team he played with the Buffalo Bills. So I just want to, I read that story, man. It was, disheartening to lose your mom, 72, 73 years old, Miss Myrtle Brown. So God rest her soul. Hopefully find brother Sergio Brown. But we talk about the cultural thing. We talk about sports, but we also talk about the cultural things that we want to bring out on this particular show, man, The Replay. So that's going to conclude another episode on The Replay. And just remember that everybody deserves a what? A do-over. We'll see y'all next time. Join us again. Peace and love to my producer, Jerome Sheffield. We did another one.
All right.